The Witcher was met with so much criticism even before it was released. All that, the next Game of Thrones hype filled everyone with dread rather than anticipation. However, after watching the series, many have realized that it's actually very interesting. Many people who have watched the series have said that the timelines were a bit confusing, so we're pretty sure many people missed a couple of details in the process of figuring out the timelines. Welcome to Riveted, and today we'll have a look at the secret clues you may have missed in The Witcher. There are spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched the series, this may be a good time to binge watch. The theme song. Of course, you've already noticed that The Witcher has a theme song, Geralt of Rivia, written by composers Sonia Balusova and Giona Ostenel, accompanies the title card early in each and every episode. However, if you listen carefully, you will notice that it is also different every time that you hear it, changing to better match the mood of the episode it introduces. In Betrayer mode, a female vocalist carries the haunting melody, setting up Geralt's battle against the cursed princess who became the Striga. In Of Banquets, Burials, and Bastards, which dive deep into Ciri's origin story, the theme song is slowed down and given an almost militaristic beat. Still on songs, did you notice that Jaskier was also always appropriately dressed for the occasion? At the banquet in Sintra, he wore a green and gold ensemble. The costume designers had Jaskier dressed in tones that not only complement the kingdom that he is performing in, but directly mirror the color palette worn by Princess Pavetta in the same scene. The symbols. In the Witcher series of Netflix, at the start of every episode, there is a symbol. The symbols appearing in the title card of each episode are hints toward the plot of each episode, though you'll probably need to be familiar with the books to realize what they imply. From episode 1 through 8, respectively, we had the solar system meaning the black sun under which Renfri was born, the obsidian star surrounded by eels meaning Yennefer, the symbol of her pendant, and the other notivates as conduits for Aretuza. A clawed footprint incorporating the Temerian lily meaning the Striga, daughter of Princess Ada of Temeria. A broken sword surrounded by a tree meaning the tree from Ciri's dream, the Sword of Destiny. A female and male figure entwined overlaying a stylized amphora meaning Yennefer and Geralt, and the uterine or amphora symbol painted on Yennefer's abdomen. A dragon that is adapted from the Bounds of Reason. A shattered lion which is symbolic of Sintra's fall. The 8th episode gives us the symbols of the 3 protagonists. The White Wolf, the Swallow, and the Obsidian Star represent Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer, respectively. As the previous symbols entwine to form this one, so the paths trodden by our protagonists in those episodes lead them to each other. Ciri Screams. There are a couple of times in the show when Ciri screams the way her mother did. Did you notice that there is a roar in her screams? Callanth refers to it as her grandma's gift when talking to Pavetta. So far, we don't know much about Ciri's powers and what she's really capable of. All we know is that when it flares up, the ladies of this bloodline go in some manner of trance while everything is decimated around them. Pavetta nearly consumed the Sintra banquet in a storm, while Ciri ended up crushing a field and its occupants when she was attacked by her former friends. In episode 1, Callanth mentions having won a battle before Ciri was even born. Shortly after, a scene between Geralt and Renfri discusses that battle as if it's just happened. This is our clue that although Yennefer starts off being set lifetimes before Sintra is invaded, Geralt's scenes start a couple of decades before, and he isn't quite as far back. The talk of Callanth's reign is a pretty vital clue as to the years between the scenes. Crap in the pants. When King Iced is joking with Ciri in the throne room, he makes a joke about her losing at Knucklebones because a horse showed up. Then she says that at least she didn't crap her pants. Very few noticed the moment was a callback to the night Ciri became Geralt's child of surprise. He was asked to tell everyone about his tale of killing elves. Geralt instead told everyone he nearly had his throat cut, but at least he didn't crap his pants. As much as the showrunners made it clear that the Netflix series was adapted from the books and not the games, they didn't completely ignore the games. You've probably noticed the Witcher soaking in a wooden bathtub, legs spread, leaving only a little to the imagination. That's a moment from the opening scene of CD Projekt Red's critically acclaimed video game, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. In 2015, the website PC Gamer used a screen grab of Geralt in the tub as a header image in every story it published about The Witcher. The Golden Dragon. When the team makes it up the mountain to find the dragon, it's revealed that Borch is actually a gold dragon. His real motive in hiring Geralt was protecting the egg. Geralt and Yennefer team up to fight off the other dragon hunters, and Borch manages to survive the scuffle with the egg intact. It was hard to see that coming since there was no indication in any of what was said that dragons could transform into a human shape. On second viewing, one may notice something about his clothes which held a secret clue. They look like golden scales. His companions, Teia and Vea, also appear to have scaly armor, but it's not clear if they are black dragons since they haven't been seen in that form. However, there are some interesting details about Teia and Vea. For instance, the marks on their temples, the tooth-like necklaces, and the double heads on their swords. In the scene on the mountain where viewers get one of a select few close-ups of the pair, the hilts of both their swords are shown to have a two-faced head on them, a screaming one and a calm one. These are definitely clues to something, but we are still not sure what they mean. Signs. Geralt of Rivia has the ability to case a simple form of combat magic known as signs. Those who are familiar with the games and books probably know about the signs, but if you are introduced to The Witcher on Netflix, you probably missed the signs. There are a plethora of handy signs for Geralt to choose from, but he doesn't use all of them in Season 1. These are Ard, Oxy, Hate-Reflecting Sign, Heliotrope, Igni, Quen, Somne, Sapire, and Dren. We will only describe the meanings of the ones we have seen so far in The Witcher. Ard is a telekinetic thrust. Axi is a hypnotic effect that can calm or manipulate foes. Gurden is a magic trap designed to keep enemies away, slowing down anyone who dares to cross it. Perhaps the most easily identifiable sign, Ard, is first used in Episode 1 during the fight in which Geralt of Rivia would become the Butcher of Blaviken. He simply uses it to thrust a group of many as fighting backward. It pops up a time or two more, with Geralt using it to minor effects such as crumbling in a wall or floor, but that's mostly it. During Episode 1 of The Witcher, it seems Geralt attempts to use Axi to sway Renfri away from her course of action and convince her to leak Blaviken. Later on, Geralt also attempts to use Axi to calm Pavetta, Ciri's mother, down when she summoned forth the Whirlwind. It was a bit of a struggle probably because both of them had resistance to magic. In Episode 3, Geralt must fight a Striga until dawn, a task that seemed daunting upon his own realization. It also seems Geralt must prevent the Striga from returning to its crypt, therefore choosing to seal it and the nearby entrance with Gurden. Can you speak Elder? In The Witcher, characters don't just speak English. Magically inclined characters also use Elvish, or the Elder speech, to cast spells, lift curses, and cause mayhem and mischief. Author Andrzej Sapkowski based the Elder speech on a mishmash of different languages, including Irish, Welsh, English, German, and Latin. So if you can figure out a few of the phrases in The Witcher, it doesn't mean you are a magician. Netflix had to bring David J. Peterson to fill in the blanks. Yes, this is the same person behind Dothraki and Valerian for Game of Thrones. His work on Game of Thrones was amazing, and Elder speech also sounds incredibly good on The Witcher. Callanth's Sash. Callanth's sash is taken from a corpse by Mousesack and later used by the Doppler to deceive Ciri. Ciri takes the sash as proof that the Doppler is really Mousesack. Only those with a keen eye will notice that the same sash is another important scene, Pavetta and Duny's marriage. The ceremony involves binding their hands together with the sash, and it so happens that the same one was used. Did you notice that the Queen of Sintra was also always armed? Even when dressed in her more fanciful costumes, she still keeps a blade at her side, ever ready to defend her subjects from those who would wish to do them harm. The Red Dress. Sorceress Triss Marigold makes recurring appearances throughout the course of the season. Her role in the show was still significant as both an ally to Geralt during his Striga investigation and the first line of defense at the Battle of Sodden. However, given that certain audiences already know her as a powerful magic user in her own right and an essential part of the White Wolf's inner circle, we have to wonder if Season 2 will give fans what they want and boost Triss's status from a background character to spotlight character. Her interactions so far give us a clue that she will play a bigger role in Season 2. Some fans are already shipping her with Geralt, even though there was hardly any sexual tension between them. Triss goes on to join Yennefer and her fellow mages for the climactic battle against Nilfgaard in Episode 8. During the attack, Triss calls upon the powers of nature, summoning poison mushrooms and enchanted vines in an effort to hold off the advancing forces. Well, there was a clue about her powers hidden in her dress the entire time. Her costume is detailed with a number of auburn leaves, a physical representation of her plant-based abilities. Geralt's last wish. Geralt saves Yen by making a wish, but viewers don't know exactly what the wish is. The book also has it done in a similar manner, where you don't ever get to know what he actually says for his third wish. Even though we've established that the series is not based on the games, there may be a clue there about Geralt's last wish. In the game, there is a side quest where one helps Yen find a Djinn, and the entire point of that quest was to undo Geralt's last wish, to see if their love for each other was real or if it was because of magic. Geralt says on the boat something about his last wish was them forever being together. Geralt wished not to lose Yen, which the Djinn interpreted by binding them together. Will there be a second season? Of course, there will be a second season. The Witcher and Ciri have just met, and they have a lot of catching up to do. The big question is, when will we get to see the second season? Principal photography for The Witcher Season 1 took about 7 months, beginning at the end of October 2018 and wrapping at the end of May 2019. It was released a little over 6 months later in mid-December. At a similar pace, we can expect at least a year to pass between the beginning of Season 2's shooting and the release date. A mid to late 2021 release date seems like a reasonable guess. Now that we are sure that there is more coming, there are questions we can't help but ask. Will Yennefer ever have children? Yennefer paid a heavy price when the magical artisan Giltine transformed her from a hunchback into the most dazzling sorceress in the Northern Kingdoms. Beauty in exchange for fertility. She tries as much as she can to get pregnant, and we are left wondering whether she will ever have children. Maybe when she meets Ciri, that void will be filled. Before we even get to the meeting, where in the world is Yennefer? And who won that battle at Sodden? Did you notice anything else while watching The Witcher? Let us know in the comment section below. This has been Riveted, and we publish amazing videos daily. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification to always stay up to date.